Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English. Friends, in this video we are going to analyze an important poem titled The Mountain Lion by D.H.Lawerence. D.H.Lawerence was born in 1885 in Eastwood, Nottinghamshire, the fourth child of Arthur Lawrence and Lydia Birdsall. So a famous writer who writes for poetry, novels, short stories, and his famous work, Sons and Lovers, Rainbow, Women in Love, the famous poet, writer, novelist. Now, what is this poem about? This poem, The Mountain Lion by D.H.Lawerence, is a reflective poem about a hiker's encounter with the dead body of a mountain lion, which was killed by hunters. The poem highlights the beauty of wild nature, the cruelty of humans, and the deep sense of loss felt when such a majestic animal is destroyed. So it's a very melancholic poem about the death of a lioness at the hands of two men in the beautiful Lobo Canyon. Beautiful Lobo Canyon, it's a deep valley. The intention of the killer in killing the lioness is not clear in this poem, but the knave liners trust human beings, and the speaker laments how humans see themselves as the center of the universe, the only animal with no predator, and the only animal in the world of fear is the human being, is the in the world to fear. The poem evokes the feeling of empathy and helps the readers in responding to the inhuman attitude of the human beings. So, this is about the introduction. Now, we shall have the discussion of the important keywords, the glossary. So, let's know the glossary. Canyon means a deep valley with steep sides, usually with a river flowing through it. Spruce trees. It's a type of evergreen tree with needle-like leaves. Balsam, a type of tree or plant with a sweet smell, often used for its resin or oils. Trail, a kind of path or the track. Hesitate, to pause before doing something, usually because of fear or uncertainty. Foolishly, in a silly or awkward way. Gentle means kind, calm, not aggressive. Linus, a female lion. Frost, a thin layer of ice that forms on surface when it's very cold. Perilous, a very dangerous. Ascent, the act of climbing or going up. Lair, the home or resting place of a wild animal. Brilliant, bright color, shining. Stripes, lines or marks of different color. Dim, not bright, not clear. Spare means to do without or to give up something. Gap, empty space. Motionless, no movement. Slim, thin and graceful. And hermoso, it's a Spanish language which means she's beautiful. And another language is here, Qtini, another Spanish word which means what do you have, friend, or what does that have to do with anything? And hermoso as means beautiful, and leon means lion. So these are the difficult words we will come across during the reading of the this poem. So totally there are 14 stanzas in this poem. So let's try to understand these 14 stanzas. Stanza number 1. The poet says, climbing through the January snow into the Lobo Canyon, the dark grow the spruce trees, blue is the balsam water sounds until still unfrozen and the trail is still evident. So the speaker is walking through a snowy canyon called Lobo Canyon in January. The trees are dark and the balsam trees look bluish, blue color. Even though it is winter season, the water is still flowing, the water is not frozen, and the path is still visible. So that means what? In this stanza, the poet is describing the peaceful and the quiet beauty of nature. Second stanza, the poet says, men, two men, the only animal in the world to fear. That means suddenly the poet observes two men and he feels scared of having seen. He says humans are the only animal to be afraid of. So this shows that the speaker believes humans are the more dangerous than any wild animals. Then stanza number 3, the poet says, they hesitate, we hesitate, they have a gun, we have no gun. So both groups stop, look at each other very carefully. The speaker notices that men have gun and the speaker and his group, they don't have any gun. So this shows a very tense moment. So there is a fear because of the gun and the unknown intentions of the men. Stanza number 4. Then we all advance to meet two Mexicans, strangers, emerging out of the dark and snow and inwardness of the Lobo Valley. They all move forward to meet each other. The two men are Mexicans, strangers walking out of the snow and the deep canyons. So the canyon is described almost like a mysterious world, and the men, they seem to come out of that mystery. So the poet feels very strange here that when he sees the people are coming out, first two Mexicans, then the strangers are coming out from that particular valley. So it's very mysterious scene the poet has observed here. Then the poet says, what are they doing here on this vanishing trail? What is he carrying? Something yellow. A D? The speaker wonders what these men are doing here. He sees one of them carrying something yellow and he thinks maybe this yellow colored thing could be a dead D. So the poet is confused and he's curious about what these men are carrying. Then uh, it's in Spanish language. Qui tin Leon, he smiles. He speaks in Spanish. He smiles foolishly as if he were caught doing wrong, and we smile foolishly as if we didn't know. The speaker asks in Spanish language, saying, "What do you have, friends?" The man replies, "A lion," which which the speaker thinks it could be a dead D, but he says that it's a lion. He smiles in a guilty or awkward way, like he knows he did something wrong. The speaker and his groups also smile awkwardly, pretending they don't mind. So both sides feel uncomfortable. The man knows it was wrong to kill the animal, and the speaker doesn't want to be rude, but he's very much sad inside, having seen that it's a dead lion. Then he's quite gentle and dark faced. It is a mountain lion, long, slim cat, yellow like a lioness dead. The man looks kind and quiet, but he has killed a mountain lion. The lion is described as a beautiful and slim yellow cat. The word dead at the end is very short and very strong. If you look at the word, one word is given here, dead, which shows it's very short and very strong. It shows the sadness and the shock of the moment. Then, further, the poet says, lift up her face, her round, bright face, bright as frost, her round, fine fashioned head with two dead ears and stripes in the brilliant frost of her face, sharp, fine dark rays, dark, keen, fine rays in the brilliant frost of her face, beautiful dead eyes, hermosos. Hermosos means in Spanish language, beautiful. So the speaker looks at the lion's face. It's round, bright, and very bright, very beautiful, with dark stripes like frost. Her eyes are dead, but still beautiful. One of the men even says in Spanish, "She is beautiful." It's a lioness. So the speaker is clearly deeply moved by how beautiful this wild animal was and how tragic it is that she has gone, she has been killed. Further, the poet says, they go out towards the open, we go into the gloom of Lobo. So the two men leave, going back into the open land. The speaker and his group keep walking into the darker part of the canyon. The word gloom here shows that their mood has changed. The beauty and the peace they felt earlier is now replaced by sadness. Then, and above the trees I found her lair, a hole in the blood orange brilliant rocks that stick up a little cave, and bones and twigs and a perilous ascent. The speaker finds a lioness home, small cave in the bright reddish orange rocks. Inside there are bones and sticks, and it's very difficult to reach. It shows that how wild and strong the lioness was to live and climb in such a place. Then further the poet says, so she will never leap up that way again with the yellow flash of a mountain lion's long shoot, and her bright striped frost face will never watch any more out of the shadow of the cave in the blood orange rock above the trees of the Lobo Dark Valley mouth. The speaker says that the lioness will never again jump up the rocks or watch the valley from her cave. So the poet feels the deep loss. This amazing creature who once ruled the canyon is now gone forever. The poet further says, instead, I look out and out to the dim of the desert like a dream never real. To the snow of the Sangre de Cristo mountains, the ice of the mountains of Picores, the speaker looks out at the faraway desert and snowy mountains. The land looks like a dream, not fully real. So it is as if the world has changed after the death of the lioness, less alive and less magical. Then the poet says, and near across the opposite steep of snow, green trees, motionless standing in snow like a Christmas toy. He sees the trees are standing still in the snow. He compares the trees to a toy scene like a Christmas decoration. So nature seems pretty but lifeless, like something fake. It's no longer wild and alive like it was when the lioness lived. Last stanza, the poet says, and I think in this empty world there was room for me and the mountain lion. And I think in the world beyond, how easily we might spare a million or two of humans and never miss them. Yet, what a gap in the world, and the missing white frost face of that slim yellow mountain lion. The speaker believes that there was enough space in the world for both him and the lioness, for both the human being and the lioness. He even says that even if million or two people disappeared, it wouldn't matter much. Still, there's a space for the lioness. But the death of just one mountain lion feels like a huge loss. So the poet feels that, the speaker feels that wild animals have more value than many people realize, and that the world is poorer without that mountain lioness. So, hence, we can say that in the poem Mountain Lion, D.H. Lawrence expresses his deep sorrow at the loss of a wild creature and shows how human actions can harm the natural world. The poem reminds us that every living being has value and that beauty of nature should be respected and protected. Through this powerful moment, the poet makes us reflect on a relationship with the wild and what we truly lose when we destroy it. So, friends, this is how I have tried my best to summarize and to explain the poem Mountain Lion by D.H. Lawrence, line by line, in a very simple manner. So if you have liked this video, click on like button, write in the comment box, subscribe the channel if it is not yet done, and just keep watching the description box in the playlist. Very shortly, all the video summary you'll be getting here, model question paper, last minute revision also. So thank you so much for watching this video. Stay in tune with Mukesh English.